Welcome everybody to another edition of the Snake Pit Coaches Show. Alongside me is head coach of the Carolina Cobras, Brennan Negron. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good, Jim. How are you, man?
It's a Monday, and the countdown to kickoff is fast approaching. I know you must be busy. I just host shows, and it's freaking chaotic on my end. I know it must be the same on your end.
It is. I mean, we're getting ready. I was just talking to some of the people in our office, and I mean, February 1st might as well be March 1st, man. It's time. I mean, we are in crunch time. I'm beyond excited. I'm ready to get this season started. We've got a lot of good things happening in Carolina, so it's going to look great to put it all on the field come March 1st.
Well, before we get into all the news and notes of everything Carolina related, just like what Coach said, we are in the grind. We're down to the days. Weeks are going to be turning the days here pretty soon, and then we'll be kicking off the 2025 season. With that being said, season tickets are on sale now. Visit CarolinaCobras.com or call what number, Coach?
336-455-7232. Single game tickets actually went on sale on Ticketmaster today. So we don't want our dedicated season ticket holders losing their seats to the general public. If you're still interested in season tickets, you can go on the website, like Jim just said, or call 336-455-7232, and a member of our staff will hook you up. So I'm hoping to pack this place this season. I'm sitting in the Coliseum now, so I want to see every seat filled in 2025.
And also, fan jerseys are on sale. 2025 fan jerseys, get them now. I know this was supposed to be a Christmas gift, but hey, Christmas keeps on giving here on Inside the Walls podcast network and all of its associated shows. Get your jerseys, get everything, especially the ones for your Carolina Cobras. Go to carolinacobras.com for more information. And merch is on sale. Go buy your stuff. Period. Do I
Agreed.
have do I have to drag you to the freaking place, people? You know where to go, carolinacobras.com. I think that's all the news and notes, sir,
Yeah, that's good
so
stuff.
far.
That's good stuff. It's been quiet in the National Arena League this week, right? I think for the most part, I think everybody's on the grind and getting ready for the season. So not a ton of news. There is news in other areas of the world. Notre Dame won, Bills won. So my non NAL teams are doing quite well, which makes me happy. So that was a good week for me.
Oh, you're talking about your Bills and Notre Dame. I'm still surprised about that game, how
Yeah.
that game played out. But whoever thought Notre Dame, Ohio State? Very rarely those two teams meet in the regular season. Better yet, now in the championship. But to the SEC fans out there, we mourn your loss. We do. Um, get humbled. SEC's not that great of a conference now that NIL has been introduced.
That's right.
Everyone's playing on equal playing field, including one certain university in Greenville, North Carolina. They like to get some transfers from my alma mater, Winston Wright Jr., who apparently had a good year this year in East Carolina.
Hmm.
But we have an individual on today's show from East Carolina. He's made a couple of stops in Carolina for the Cobras, and now is back this season with the Cobras. Um, Coach, introduce the man of the hour for today's episode.
So, Jim, I think the best way to introduce this guy is to tell you what he said to me at the end of last season. So, last season didn't end the way we wanted it to. One of the first phone calls I got was from this guy, and first thing he said to me was, "Coach, I can't go out like that." He's intense. He's a Cobra through and through. He was electric at ECU, Hall of Famer with Page High School here in Greensboro. Had a couple stints in the NFL. We're very blessed to have him play in Greensboro in Donna Cobra uniform. Couldn't be more excited about this guy. Talk about a player that uplifts your coaching staff, uplifts his fellow teammates, and wants to do something incredible for the city of Greensboro. Ladies and gentlemen, Cobra athlete, because I don't put him in one position. He can play almost anywhere on the field. James Summers. Here he is, James Summers.
What's up, Larry?
Well, he is right. You are basically a Swiss Army knife that comes to positions of the indoor game. I've seen you play quarterback. I've seen you play DB. I've seen you play receiver. I've seen you play wide receiver. I don't think you played kicker, but I know ZB beat you to it that year.
Almost one time.
Almost. But I know we just mentioned your alma mater, East Carolina. I know you guys had a rivalry game against NC State. Do you like where direction your program's going? I think they since they got the coach gone midway through,
Coach Harris.
Tracking into the year.
Yeah, I think he's awesome. He brings a lot of energy. He speaks ECU. Everything he does. I think he's from a small town as well, so he always got a chip on his back. I love that about him. And I think the last time we beat NC State is when I beat him my senior year. So that was a little refreshing. I think we only played him a couple times since, but yeah, I think that's the last time we beat him.
The American Conference is now becoming a very scrappy conference.
Yes.
And I don't know who's the big dog in that conference. Is it still like Tulane right now?
Yeah, I'll say Tulane.
Well, the new college football playoff, the expanded college football player gives opportunity to the American. And Coach Negron's basically flexing on his last couple of weeks since we've been in the show, and because Notre Dame just keeps finding a way to win games, and now they are 60 minutes away of winning the first national title since when, Coach?
God. It's got
90s?
No, maybe before that. Maybe 80s.
Ooh, wow.
Coach, you know I love you though, right?
I hope so.
Yeah, but Ohio State.
Hey man,
State's gonna win.
did you not hear the introduction I gave you? Like,
I get it, but I'm just telling you, like they are playing the best football in and out.
Yeah.
Like, yes, y'all finding a way to win, but they are winning with will right now, and it's kind of hard to stop them.
Yeah.
That receiver they have is insane, and he's only a true freshman.
Well, they got three good receivers. They got maybe four. Just one of them.
Just that the forefront up front, D-line.
Yeah.
Massive.
I have no doubt the game's going to be difficult, but we're there. You know, you got to be in it to even have a chance. So we're.
I'm excited because I like Notre Dame. I like Freeman. I like the way he coaches.
Love Marcus Freeman.
He plays chess, not checkers. My type of guy.
That's right.
And Leonard's from that region, isn't he? Like North Carolina. He's a Carolina boy.
Yeah.
He transferred from Duke.
From Duke, yeah.
That's right. He did play for Duke. He played for who now the coach is at Texas A&M. There's transfer portals for everything.
Everywhere.
Coaches and players now. Like, Jesus. But we'll talk about college and the NFL because we don't want to talk about the Bills and their dominant win over the Broncos. Who thought that was going to show up?
We can always talk about the Eagles.
Last night's game was entertaining. How Baker Mayfield just handed Washington the division, the wild card victory. But minus NFL, minus college football. Talk about Carolina Cobras here. You've returned to the Cobras. This is now year 4 with the organization over a 6-year period.
Yes.
Right. I'm smart. Yay. But Coach said there's a reason why he came back and how the season ended. But from a player perspective, how's the body? How's everything going this offseason before we get into this season?
The body's good. Body's real good. Didn't have any major injuries last year. I had a contusion for the last couple games with my foot. But other than that, the body's been pretty good. And I've been coaching. So I've been having to stay in shape to keep up with those guys just a little bit. I almost got taken out on the sideline this year. It was pretty funny, but it hurt really bad. It made me feel old. But other than that, my body's real good and I'm ready to go.
Make you feel old? How old are you?
I just turned 30 this year.
And that's old?
Yeah. It's very old.
Coach, 30's old now, my friend.
I have socks older than that. Just so you know.
That's nasty, dude.
I mean, you know, I got the ones that I've been using for a long time. But no, he's he may only be 30 in mind. He still runs like it was his rookie year in the NFL. Trust me, you don't want to tackle James Summers head up coming at you. You don't. It's not going to work out good for you.
So, one of the questions I've asked you before in previous episodes of the original Hot Show, the transition from quarterback to running back / wide receiver, how that transition went from college to the indoor game. Now that you've had many years as playing receiver / running back or wherever Coach Negron wants you to play, you'll play most likely. But going from a QB to those other positions, how hard was that transition?
Very hard in the sense of mentality, my mentality, right? You got to turn this mentality off as I don't get to touch the ball every play now.
Mm-hmm.
I can't control where the ball go. All I can do is do my part and hope the ball is coming to me, or my number is called. And that would have to be the hardest part. And I think that's what I still struggle with. And that's why I came back this year. We're going to have to mix that up a little bit and make sure we get this done the right way. And I think I can help us in many other ways. And we'll wait till time comes to show you guys. But, yeah, we got to get it done. We will get it done.
You've been on some winning organizations in the Carolina history. I've watched you basically single-handedly beat the Jacksonville Sharks just by yourself. That's before some short wide receiver came in, wore number 4, thought he wasn't that great with the Carolina Cobras at all. We're not going to mention Adam Smith,
Right.
how dynamic he was as a kick returner. But at one point, I still remember this team receiving core. Yeah, James Summers, Kendrick Ings, DJ Myers, and you had Adam Smith.
Yeah.
And if you watch the indoor game, ladies and gentlemen, that is a freaking team where you go, how did they not win 3 in a row?
Right.
That receiving core was, hopefully I don't get muted by YouTube, deadly, especially in the indoor game.
Seriously.
But of course, in this game, as you know, every year there's a new year. It's not like the NFL where organizations stay together for countless years. Ings went to Fayetteville. You tried the other. I think you went to, at that time, I went Yeah, you went to Fayetteville, right?
Yep. I went to Fayetteville with him. Yep.
Well, you don't want to talk about Fayetteville.
Nah.
That's a story by itself. Could be an own documentary one day.
Yeah, seriously.
But DJ went to San Antonio, but Adam Smith stuck in Carolina for a couple more years by himself. Then Guy Myers showed up, and he held the pedestal. Then you returned last year. So you got partly the gang back together. Now you're like Will Smith in that meme. You're walking in, and all your buddies that you were with that team a couple years ago are elsewhere.
Right.
You got a new group of individuals on this organization. Have you worked with the players? Have you worked with Vincent yet of trying to get chemistry already? Because we're 2 months away from kickoff in Greensboro against Willing, and they will have a game under their belt.
Right.
How are you getting that extra practice or reps to try to get these guys, cohesion before toe hits leather in Greensboro?
Well, I think Vincent is the only one that's like very far on the West Coast. So it's hard for us to intervene right now, but we all talk just about every day. We have 2 group chats, very active in it. I might not be as active as I want to be right now. I'm working, got a lot of stuff, I got family and everything. So, I got a lot going on. So I'm not as active as some of the younger guys, but man, they are very active in the chat. We getting to know each other in our meetings. And I've actually held about 3 or 4 just throw-arounds, man, where we get out there, have a few guys, we throw the ball around. We try to learn the routes in our system right now, the verbiage. It's more about the verbiage, and but so many routes and plays you can run in the arena game, right? It's all about the lingo. So that's what we all trying to get down packed right now. And honestly, I think the timing, whenever Vincent get here, the show's going to be on the road. Hopefully he can get here a little earlier, but if not, we got to do what we got to do. We're gonna get that time in for sure.
Coach, I'll bring you in here for this next question. You said at the end of last year you had a conversation with James, about getting him back here to Carolina. Now that he is here, is it good to have someone with the veteran leadership that he has in this level of the sport, many years of playing both sides of, well, I'm going to say he played every single position on the field besides kicker. But bringing Summers here back to Carolina, how big is that for you as a head coach?
I mean, it's huge. I hope James would feel the same way that I do, but I don't think there's a player. We just have a special relationship, man. It's no bullshit. It's raw. It's honest. There are days I think we want to kill each other, but there's nobody I would. I go down an alley by myself. James Summers would be the first one to make sure I don't get touched. Right? I really can't describe it on a podcast. It's just special. He wants to win for him, but I also know how much he wants to win for me, and I know how much he wants to win for the city, and he knows how much winning means to me, just because he's probably more aware than anybody how much I do behind the scenes to keep this franchise going. So we both wanted to pay off for each other. He's been dedicated to the franchise, what did you say, 4 out of 6 years? I think I've been here every year. He's been here but one. We didn't like seeing each other on different sides of the field. And when he was in Fayetteville, that didn't work for either one of us. Like he said, we got to do some things differently, right? He's not afraid to tell me what we have to do differently. I'm not afraid to tell him if I don't like it. Then we find a medium and we go kick the shit out of everybody.
Yeah.
So, it's special. And I think that, he's right. There a lot of chemistry is being built in ways that are different than, you could probably do with teams in the 80s and the 90s and the early 2000s. We've got text, we've got Zoom, we've got all these different ways we can meet and build relationships. But, he took the bull by the horns right out the gate and scheduled some workouts with these new guys, voluntary, where I may or may not have been present, and got them going, right? So that we can build something. We're being much smarter about the roster. I take his input on that. He's earned that right to give me input on our roster, on our schemes, what we're doing in the offseason, what our camp's going to look like. He's got history with some of the greatest coaches in our profession. I get all that from that one man right there. So I would be insane to not bring him back. Couple that with his, immeasurable motivation is just, it's a no-brainer, Jim. So, we're going to put James anywhere on the field that I can put him, that he's going to make a difference with the team. He got a lot of touches last year. He was one of the integral parts of our offense. We're going to give him the ball even more. It's better for our franchise and for the game that I want to play, the game of chess that I want to play against these other teams, for us to have the ball in James' hands as much as possible. So I'm putting the league on notice right now. He's going to have the ball a lot. We don't care if you know. We're going to do it anyway. And I just think that what he brings to the game, what he brings to the team, what he brings to the city, the man he wants to be, the coach he expects me to be, the accountability he holds for me, it's, again, I'm very blessed to have him on my roster.
I appreciate that, Coach.
You talk about your relationship. Now, this is the key question in a relationship with two. If both of you went to, let's say, a restaurant, who's paying the bill?
That'd be an argument.
Absolutely. We're going to argue a lot.
Yeah, that might be an argument for sure. We might have argued like 3 or 4 times about that, honestly. Like, I promise you.
James and I would argue over a pen, but get us on a football field and it's on. We come at you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I love that dude. It's a pain in the ass, but I love him.
Usually the ones that are a pain in the ass are the best ones to be around.
He's one of the best. He's one, like I said, I'm very blessed to coach him. When I look back at my coaching history, when it's all said and done, coaching James Summers is going to be one of the highlights of my coaching career. No question.
Oh, I appreciate that, Coach. For real.
Well, speaking of your time in Carolina there, James Summers, I know these websites are not completely accurate, so I had to go dig some of my research.
Yeah.
Uh, you're overall a 1,000-yard receiver historically in the NAL.
Yeah.
A completion percentage of about 80%, so you can still throw the rock. Is there anything in your repertoire that fans may not know that you have that you will like to probably try here in 2025?
Is there anything that I would like for the fans to know?
Yeah, like are you hiding a leg that can kick 40-yard field goals with ease or something like that?
No, I'm not hiding the leg. But I might be hiding another body part that might be revealed this year a little more. If that helps you.
If you had this chance on the field, split second, are you hurdling or lowering your helmet and running through somebody?
Lowering my helmet.
Oh, I could have answered that for you.
100%.
So what's the deal? Like you could tell the generation of this sport is changing where 5 years ago you see people trucking dudes. Now it's like I'm gonna hurl to everybody I can see, and dudes are getting, shots in the area that can knock someone out for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
What's the deal with that being a trend now in football, especially for the younger generation that's in the game?
I really don't get that part of it. I think that's where the rules and all the head collisions, that's where it changes the game. And, I'm not saying that these kids are soft or anything, but it's definitely not as physical as it used to be. And that I think it has a lot to do with what's off the field too. You know what I mean? Like all the accessories and want to be seen and all this stuff. It's just like the physical passion of football is now becoming kind of a show.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what it is. Because my son is like, he's 7 years old, right? And he's about to play his first year of physical football, like actual contact. But if you see him play football, even flag football, he will never think about hurdling. Like he's watched me play, and like it's almost like he's completely angry, but it's just passion, like me, But it's like he's totally different on the football field than like the kid that you'll meet just hanging around. You know what I mean? But this guy, I see in my son what I see in myself, and it kind of scares me a little bit. And like I said, that those are things that kind of make me feel like I'm old. Like, like, whoa, why am I looking at my son like he's a little too aggressive? Like, what does that mean? What is too aggressive? I had to ask myself that for the first time. So, yeah.
Well, also, I think the hurling aspect is to get that ESPN highlight reel or that Vine or that, Vine's 10 years ago, TikTok, Instagram reel. Yeah, I went throwback with Vine. But coach, as a coach, I guarantee it's a couple things. If you see a running back or receiver do it, you're like, you stupid idiot, but okay, whatever. But if you see a quarterback do it, you're like, what the hell are you doing? As a coach, are you a fan of players hurling?
Are you crazy? Go back to the first game in Idaho. Guy tried to hurdle somebody and wound up in the first row. And the first he came back to me. I said, "Don't ever fucking do that again." So
dude, I cussed him out so bad.
Yeah. So
I literally jacked him up by the jersey.
That. Yeah, we don't. I don't want nobody hurdling. I don't want none of that.
No.
Well, you could say this about Guy. At least he got good seats.
He did. He's like 6'8", so I think he laid across like 5 different chairs.
Yeah, seriously.
He jumped over. So the fans got a good.
I sit a couple rows up from the field here in Jacksonville, and I've seen players fly over that wall. And I'm like, if you're not paying attention, fans, and you're on that first and second row,
oh yeah,
helmets to the head are not fun.
Or anywhere else.
Yeah, even with a helmet on, sometimes helmets to the head are not fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But we did have a suggestion of your new talent. You want to play center, so you want to play offensive line.
Yeah, we're not doing that. I can tell you that right now.
Hey, you know the original NAL, the fullback is like playing left guard or tackle.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
It's an
I played
extension of
in-
the offensive line.
I literally played in 2 entire games at fullback. So yeah.
Was ZB there? Was ZB wasn't taking the snaps?
Nah, ZB wasn't there. This is in Fayetteville.
It was in Fayetteville, yeah.
Oh, so ZB was in Carolina. So okay.
Yeah, he was in Carolina.
I never liked that rule right there. Like,
Yeah, you talking about some pain?
it's a one-on-one sport, arena football.
You talking about some pain, man?
There's no scenario where I would ever have you at fullback, ever.
There is a scenario. It's called Madden and putting him in.
Yeah, man.
Dude, we won the game.
Yeah.
Won the game. Quarterback didn't get sacked. He got hit, but he didn't get sacked.
Good sack.
Oh, that's
And I actually got 2 sacks that game. I played Mac linebacker that game too.
well, I can see you playing that position.
Yeah.
Well, because then now if you transition to the indoor, that position's literally like a safety now.
Yeah, Mac linebacker is a fun position in the IFL rules.
Yep.
In the NAL rules, you can basically put everyone in coverage if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You can't do that in the arena game. In the arena game, you have to have 3 people, at least 4 people blitzing all the time, no matter what.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There's certain rules from different, like I like rules in the arena and I look rules in IFL and NAL. I'm like, can we like somehow
Merge them, yeah.
merge the rules together and make it a more complete game? But one thing I do love, I was watching the NFL playoffs this weekend and college football playoff, and I'm just sitting there and I'm like, okay, I'm done with the outdoor game already. And we still got a whole month until the Super Bowl. It's like I'm ready for the indoor game. And I'm like, I got to get ready for, that linebacker's out of the box, and it dawns on me, you idiot, it's the outdoor game. Is there no linebacker out of the box in real? I'm like, I'm already getting that mindset because I know you're going to have illegal defense flags that tick off coaches all the time. Like, yeah, you can't blitz. You got to stay still before you blitz.
Right.
So I'm already getting that mindset. And when I'm watching the NFL, I'm like, well, that's a jack out of the box, and it dawns on me. I'm like, wrong sport. But speaking
That's
about
funny.
the different variations of the sport, you were with Fayetteville, who at that time played NAL arena rules, and you came to Carolina and then went to the indoor rules. As a player, you mentioned it kind of off air, but I'm going to bring this question up. It's not really, shocking news or breaking news. What style do you prefer, arena or indoor?
Oh, definitely indoor. Definitely indoor.
Is it more realistic to the outdoor game?
Yeah, it's more realistic to the outdoor game, and your running back is involved as another weapon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now your quarterback can be, if he's a runner, he can be more dynamic as another weapon. So I feel like it adds varies to the game that makes it more challenging. I definitely love it. NAL is more control. It's like you can only do this, you can only do that. And the game has to go this way. If you go outside,
I like the RPO concepts of the indoor game.
Yes. Yes.
Because I know Coach will agree with if you go watch right now traditional college teams back in the day, the Ohio States and Notre Dames and Nebraskas, the old Big Ten style was I formation, run the football. That was the antithesis of what arena football was old school. We're going to give it the fullback and run, but more like the play action, don't throw deep.
Yeah, exactly.
As football modernized and the RPOs and the read options became a thing, the indoor game, in my opinion, resembles the outdoor game that everyone runs some type of offense like this outside.
Absolutely.
So for Coach, he doesn't have to look at just specific Big Ten schools or schools that run the triple option because he has to find that arena-style guy. He can go down to Wake Forest, Duke, North Carolina, ECU, Elon, North Carolina Central, and find dudes because every team in all of college football plays the same style now. There's some concept of RPO. Yep. There's some type of what's called, I call it throw and show, but it's a different more. That's a different type of offense. As a coach, is it easier to recruit players out of college now because of the indoor concepts? Now, really, how can I say this? Is it just easier to recruit kids now out of high school, college, to bring in the indoor, seeing that they play some of the offenses?
Yeah, I mean, I think the answer to that question is in some of the things I've done in the off season. I mean, I spent time at Wake Forest, watching their last game of the season, looking at some players that I potentially wanted to bring to camp and sign. Uh, I think that you look at the schemes that some teams run, and you can easily convert some 11-man offensive schemes to an 8-man indoor game, right? You can run similar route concepts. I'm a run the ball first coach, right? You don't have that ability to do that in the arena style. You can do that in the indoors. Like James said, the running back is more prevalent in the indoor game, right? So you can build a strong running game. In fact, last season it was important to me. That's one of the main reasons why I wanted James, was because it was important for me to have a strong, supportive running game that could support Guy as the QB in his first season, leading a team in indoor rules, right? So, and respectfully, I think the fact that we had a good running game opened up Guy to do a lot more things offensively, which is why now he's been signed to potentially lead a team in the IFL, right? Look, I've loaded our roster with running back talent. We got James, we got Tobias Taylor, we got young guys like David Ross, Tremont Bright, Charles Brooks can play power back. So we've got a bunch of guys coming to camp that run the rock and run the rock well. They can also catch the ball out of the backfield, which is equally important. And then you have a guy like James that I can put in a 4-wide set and go empty, and now all of a sudden my running back becomes a threat at receiver. You can't do that, any of that, in the arena style of the game, right? Mm-hmm. That's all the indoor game, and it's very reflective of what you see on Saturdays and Sundays outdoors. It's just 3 less guys.
So are you going to put James as the guy, the receiver in motion, or just
Jim,
based on content?
I'm not going to tell you that, man.
Come on, I need to know. I got to make my Madden staff, man. I'm making an NAL Madden.
That's again, that's the advantage of having him on the team. He can do both.
Be the X or the Y coach. Come on.
This is the most you go get. James can be a stationary receiver. James can go in motion. James can be a stationary back. James can come in motion from back. You just don't know. Just get your popcorn ready and watch. That's what I'm going to tell you.
Well, I'm not trying to steal any
limelight. You just want me to give the whole offense to all the viewers today on Inside the Walls.
Yeah. What player are you calling on third? No, I won't do that because coaches. There's some coaches in this sport that will just tell you exactly what they're running, why they're running it, and how it's going to be successful. And he can give you the playbook, and he's still going to run it and still score on you.
Well, and I'm very confident that we could do the same. I don't want to give my new offensive coordinator heart palpitations, right? He's watching the show. I'm sure he wouldn't like that. But I will say confidently, we're going to run the football. I mean, I didn't.
Well, you have to in this game.
Yeah, I didn't sign these guys to not. But we're going to be dynamic offensively again. Last year we put up the most points in the league. That's well known. We're going to do that again. We need to shore up some things on the defensive side of the ball so that some of the games that we lost turn into victories. But I was never worried about us offensively last year. Not one time.
Well, this game, you got to have a passing game, passing attack. But I did witness a team last year in the IFL run the ball 43 times and win the football game.
That's crazy.
What they did is basically the offense that they were playing was a high-scoring offense. So the way to keep their offense off the field was run the football and wind the clock.
Yep.
And they eventually the offense made some stupid mistakes, threw some turnovers, and the team just kept running the ball. They couldn't stop a run.
Yeah.
Even though the timing rules in the IFL, I'm like, can we not penalize? But I digress. The game's still fast, especially in the NAL. The game's still fast if it's very, very successful running attack.
Yeah.
But we have a question for you, Summers. What game are you most looking forward to this season?
All of them. First one, because it's the first one.
No. I already know what coaches we talked about previous episode. That was a quick answer. David Ross, you mentioned him, coach. He popped in.
Good young kid. He's going to do a lot of things. He's going to show the world, he's a hidden gem that we got lucky to be able to sign when unfortunately Harrisburg had to fold. David Ross is coming to Carolina to shock the world.
Well, and Coach Darren Clark Jr. said, I better catch 50-50 of those passes over the wall. So,
they're my favorite catches.
I've seen some receivers catch the ball at the wall and go completely inverted and land literally on their feet after they completely flipped over. I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what are the chances of that, really? But
yeah.
I don't think James gives himself enough credit for how good his hands actually are. If I'm not mistaken, he dropped one pass all season last season. I'll have to go back and look at the tape, but I know of one off the top of my head. But I don't
game.
know. No, it was the last home game. I don't know that you dropped anything in the first game. I'll look. Now you're going to get me to look. But nonetheless, he's got incredibly good hands, which is what makes him a weapon. Out in the open as a receiver.
Well, based on the NAL stats, he dropped 3. But I don't know how accurate that is on the website from last year.
Yeah. Clearly, there was only one that stood out to me, so the other 2 don't count if they don't stand out.
Speaking of Tobias, he shall appear.
My dog.
Oh, I'm so excited about him, man. Thank you to everybody that didn't sign Tobias Taylor.
Yeah,
we appreciate that here in Carolina. He's home where he belongs.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you're new to catching up the Indiana Carolina Cobra news and information, ladies and gentlemen, please visit carolinacobras.com. National Arena League news, really nothing around the league as of yet. We are in start of January, so all these teams and organizations are focused on themselves. Playoff format has been finalized, 14 playoff, top 2 teams per division. I get in, so James Summers is used to that type of format as he played in it before. So he knows what it needs to get to the playoffs. And of course, James Summers is here. It's time for him to be a feature athlete. Get your tickets and go watch him in the First Horizon Coliseum.
Yeah.
There I go with the name. Yay! 2 points.
We love our bank. We love First Horizon.
And get your merch at carolinacobras.com. We can go on for days, weeks, years, but unfortunately, Coach has to go sell more stuff. Or in this case, well, you have to be busy, Coach, aren't you?
I am. I'm putting in 12 to 14-hour days in the office, and I'm good with it. That's what I do. It's what I do during the season anyway, so it's no different. But look, we're trying to build something special. We've got a good city here, man. We're gonna do right by the city on the football field, but we want to do right in business as well. So we're working hard to make sure that happens. And I'm just excited to get to the season. I'm excited to see what this guy's gonna do. He tells me every year he's gonna retire. I'm not gonna listen to that nonsense anymore. So I'm just gonna let him ball out. And you damn right, Willie. We're gonna protect the borough. We're gonna pack this house, and James Summers is going to be an integral part of that, as most likely one of our leaders, which is I would expect nothing less.
Also, we have a question for you, Coach. Tickets for the Columbus road game, I think it is. Is that the first road game, if I'm correct?
Yeah, so we're going to talk with the different road teams and see about packaging some stuff together. That's one of the things I like about the NAL and its partners this year. We're all trying to work together to make it a great experience, not only for the home fans, but for the visiting fans that come into town. So we're going to continue to talk with Columbus. Their owner used to be one of the partners here in Carolina, so we've got a good relationship there, and I'm sure we'll come up with a really nice travel package that we could bring some of our Cobra faithful down to Columbus on March 21st.
It's not a bad bus trip.
Not at all.
I've heard stories of extremely long bus trips, especially 22 and a half hours, of San Antonio traveling to Carolina one year. I felt bad for the guys from San Antonio. And the reason why I felt bad is because they came into the snake pit and you guys throttled them. So they went all the way up here and boom. But bus trips are good. If you can fly, you can fly, but I don't think there's a flight from Greensboro to Clovis.
Nah.
Nah,
It's too short.
it's an easy bus trip. I think it's 6.5 hours. We don't do 22-hour bus trips in Carolina. I think me and James would be a mutiny. We wouldn't be doing it.
Well, the benefits of driving to Columbus, you can avoid Atlanta. If
Yeah.
you fly, you're flying into Atlanta no matter what.
Right.
It was like getting flights out of Jacksonville, got flying to Atlanta. It's like, why do I do it? Why? I like, can we just planes could go further than that. We don't need Atlanta all the time.
Right, that's right.
But James, to close up the show, I know Greensboro is home for you. You have a lot of history there. This is a chance for you to give shout outs to everybody, company or business that you're promoting, or family. This is your part of the show to show where the fans can follow you.
I don't really hate social media. I'm not a social media guy.
Which is factual.
Yeah.
You're hard to find.
Yeah, I'm about to say you know this. You know this by talking to me. Yeah, I just don't do it. I'm just more focused on being happy. But I would like to give a shout out to all the Cobra fans. I would like to give a shout out to Coach Negron, as always, all my future teammates, all my future coaches. I'd like to give a shout out to my lady and my kids, and my mother, everybody who's loved me dearly this year. Huge shout out to you guys. I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to show you guys what we got in store. I'm ready to bring one home.
Well, bringing one home starts actually almost exactly 1 month. Am I correct there, Coach?
Yeah, our
15th?
schedule changed a little bit, so we pushed back our camp. So we'll start camp last week of February, first week of March. But yeah, but what, 45 days? We'll say 45 days.
So technically, we're about 2 months. The 15th is Saturday the 15th.
Yeah.
Correct? For the kickoff of the season?
Sir. Yes, sir. First game.
Mm-hmm.
Heroes Night, Armed Forces Night. We're going to celebrate the military, first responders, all the different divisions of the Armed Forces. We'll be donning our military uniform, which will be a surprise to everybody. We'll those off at the end of the night. So after James Summers scores 4 touchdowns and rushes for God knows how many yards, catches God knows how many yards, you can buy his jersey online if his mom doesn't beat you to it first, because she may not let that leave the Coliseum. But yeah, it's coming, man.
Someone needs to run an illegal pick.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're 2 months away, so get ready.
And it's a big game. The William Miners travel to the First Horizon Coliseum, and it's a division game. Division games mean more this year because we play division play. So top 2 in the division make the playoffs. So it'd be a crucial game to kick off the home slate for the Carolina Cobras on March 15th.
Is that who we're playing? I wasn't sure. I didn't know if that's who we were playing.
I just I'm guessing hypothetically. I don't know, Coach.
Oh,
I feel the disturbance in the force. That has to be the first one. Maybe it's because of another show I'm on talking about the game. But James, welcome back to Greensboro. I look forward to watching you.
Thank you.
Give me some highlight film so I can make some good hype videos throughout the season for the NAL.
Okay.
You got to do that on the field. Don't give me some old stuff. I want to see
I got
guys this year.
That'd
be the cool thing to do. I can make hype videos, but when you're playing against teams that no longer exist or not even in the league, it's not like I want good stuff this year.
Yeah, have fun.
We go.
Well, Coach Summers, it's been a good show.
Yes, appreciate you, man. Thank you for everything. Summers, I love you. I'll see you soon, kid.
Love you too, man. See you soon.
So all the fans out there in Carolina Cobra Nation, for all more information of your Carolina Cobras, visit carolinacobras.com. All social media platforms, they're on X, they're on Instagram, they're on TikTok for the last 7 days before it goes in ban. Bye-bye. They're all on his social media and Facebook, including here. Like, share, subscribe, get your tickets now. Tune in to any Inside the Walls Network Productions. The lineup is loaded throughout the week. We might be doing we are doing a ticket giveaway where Inside the Walls will take you to the arena. Just find out how we're doing the giveaway. It's going to be pretty entertaining. I think for me, if mine works, if my plan works without the two guys who are on the show with me, it's basically going to say, give me your all-star team, all-time NAL all-star team. And the team that we think is the best, those two individuals will get 2 tickets to a game to their choosing. That's basically if that's me. But no, Matt and Jeff, they'll like, oh, well, let's just do it out of the hat and make it boring. But anyways, I want to make it interactive.
That would have been dope. That'd be dope.
I like it. I'll co-sign on that.
Well, because my all-time NAL team has 2 Cobras.
See, I'm already in a good place then.
Adam Smith and Ziegler are guaranteed locks.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm debating about TC Stevens.
He gotta go.
It was money.
What's the debate?
He has to.
Well, Marco Roscoe was just as good.
Yeah, Roscoe's good.
Kevin Didio Weber was just as good. So
Yeah, Weber was good though. Weber was pretty good.
Yeah.
I was like, there's some damn good kickers out there, Coach.
Well,
TC just my favorite.
I coached 2 of those kickers, just FYI.
Yeah.
All right, well,
TC just my favorite. He's
that's a tough one to not give.
He's a great person. That's why he should be in it.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's a great person, and he did something that you probably are trying to avoid. He did announce that he's done. He's done playing football.
Yeah, he did. I talked to him like right after that.
We lost Adam Smith and TC Stevens.
I mean, does TC own every kicking record there is in indoor football? What more did he have to prove?
I think he does have one, and I think that was broken last year with Kevin.
Gotcha. Okay.
Kevin has the longest field goal in NAL history, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we seen Adam again.
Well, knowing Adam, he'll show up somewhere. He always does. That's the indoor game. You know the indoor game.
Exactly.
All the veterans like, I'm done. Then when it's postseason time, it's like, hey, I got 4 games left in me, and they'll show up.
That's exactly how it goes.
It happens every year for every league. For me, as a person who covers them, like, oh, hearing that sneaking suspicion of the players coming back.
Yeah, seriously.
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's been episode 5, 6. I can't even track this.
We're at 6.
6.
Yeah.
Well, again, for Summers and for Coach Negron and for myself, everyone have a blessed week. Pray for all the love. If you have loved ones over in California,
yes,
they're going through some situations, especially in Carolina. You guys, Western Carolina went through some stuff earlier this year. Now California, so you guys understand what a community means. I said, send your thoughts and prayers to the people over in California right now, especially the LA region.
Hey, Jim, since we're throwing out prayers, I'm not going to go into details, but we talked a lot about Adam Smith tonight. Adam and his family could use some prayers too. They're going through some stuff. So, I want to make sure he knows, and, I don't know if he's watching the show or not, but we love him. He'll always be a member of the Cobra family. And, I think James would agree. We're a phone call away if you need us. But thinking about you, Adam, thinking about you and the family, brother.
And with that note, that's James Summers. That's the Coach Negron. I'm Jim Renier. I am everywhere, especially today and age and NAL. If you go on the website, I'm on literally every page. It's insane. This has been episode 6 of the Snake Pit Coaches Show here on Inside the Walls Network and Carolina Cobra's Facebook account. Be well, be safe. We'll see you guys next week.